Sasha, welcome to my channel. And for today's video, it is the newest episode of the Growing Together Let's Play. We are in the reflection era. Comment of the day goes to Squarebox271. I love this series. It's so freaking interesting and cute. I love Black Sheep. Thank you so much for your comment. And if you want to leave a comment, just comment on this episode and you might see your comment on the next episode. So, if you remember last time, Angela and Duncan were hanging out at the lighthouse. She was painting the views. And she was invited by his ex, who he just randomly bumped into, to have like this double date thing. And so now we have to go on it because Angela said okay. She was just kind of like in the moment, but we'll see like where her intentions allied once y'all see this meeting. Enjoy. It was awkward and like pin drop silence. Angela and Duncan didn't rehearse any lines. He just called her his girlfriend because his ex was there, and Angela was just too shocked. I guess it was just weirder to say I'm related to the family his father married into. Bonnie says, I hope you like it out here. Is it your first time in town? Angela says, no, we have a lake house out here, and we would just stop by growing up when my grandparents retired here. Bonnie says, and you guys met at the wedding again? And Angela says, yeah, a little before it. And Duncan says, yeah, she was pregnant and she had the biggest crush on me. Angela was like, that's not how I remember it. And Bonnie says, I can see the chemistry between y'all. Y'all give me new couple vibes. So Angela, what do you do for a living? I work as an art critic at the moment, but I would love to change that into painting one day. Bonnie says, I am an art connoisseur myself. I would love to see your stuff. And she says, I'm into landscape art at the moment, but I do want to paint every last piece of this beautiful planet. And I was just thinking of doing an art show, sharing my time in Tartosa. I don't know. Bonnie says, what? That's amazing. You should totally do it. And Duncan says, yeah, I keep telling her to do it, but I think she's just overthinking it. Angela's really liking this lady. She's not judgmental or anything. I really think that maybe this couple just had like a bad misunderstanding and maybe not a proper mediator between her parents and him and stuff. So maybe there's just a real chance of reconciliation if this dinner goes well. Duncan was nervous. He knew his ex had the ball in her court. Was she ever gonna try to bring Duncan around his daughter Ollie again? After they ate their meal, Angela excused herself to go to the bathroom, and Bonnie followed her soon after. While Duncan was waiting, he felt like this bathroom stay was so long, and it just had him thinking about the past. Bonnie met Duncan while she was at a work trip, and their relationship just went by so quick. They got married and everything, and he moved to Brindleton Bay for her, and they wanted a child, and obviously they were both so happy by this news. This was just what they wanted, and they knew this pregnancy is gonna be the best moment of their lives. I mean, little did they know, but you know what I mean. At the time, everything just made sense. They were just so in love. They were just so happy to expand as a family. Bonnie went into labor and Duncan was in a panic. I mean, of course, the hospital's used to this, parents being scared, especially a first child. And she was checking on him like, are you okay? And he would tell her, I'm okay, don't worry about me, you're the top priority. And the doctor would be like, calm down, you're okay, don't worry about him, let's worry about you and the baby. She's like, okay, your heart rate's okay, the baby's heart rate is normal, you're on a steady path. I would love to see how far you are dilated, let's do that epidural. Like basically just making sure that Bonnie's experience in the hospital is as how she viewed and requested. And she had a really great doctor working with her, and Duncan was doing absolutely his best on his part to just make sure that Bonnie feels comfortable on this day. The doctor says, Mrs. Hess, everything is good. I think we should just go make our way so that you could push the baby in the next room. And this is when Duncan was like, oh my god, it's really happening. Oh my god, I'm excited. I'm scared. This is what he was basically doing the whole time. Bonnie makes it to the labor room, and she's like, oh, Duncan, where's Duncan? And the doctor's like, hey, listen, he's on his way. He's probably needing to breathe. Just sit down, and we have to start the process. And Bonnie's like, I don't know if I want to push without him there. The doctor says, it's okay. He's probably going to come right now. Don't worry about it. We'll deal about all of this later. And, she was just like, oh my God. And, its instinct to push started to come. And Duncan was just standing outside. He's like, I know I should walk there. I should go inside. Why am I so scared? He's like walks, and then he just was like, okay, I just need to walk back here one more time, and he falls unconscious.
All nurses to the nurses station.
Hours later, Duncan regains his consciousness, and he's starting to put the pieces together of his day, and he realizes, oh my God, I don't remember her giving birth. What on earth is going on? He's panicking. He's talking to the doctor. The doctor's trying to calm him down. He's like, okay, I understand you missed a very important moment, but there must have been something that triggered you. He's like, no, you don't understand. I look so bad. I look so suspicious. And the doctor's like, look, you need to talk to someone, figure out what happened and what triggered this right before you're about to enter the hospital. I recommend you to see a therapist, and maybe even it might help clear it up with your wife. And Duncan's like, okay, look, I can't listen to all of this. I have to make it to the hospital room right now. Bonnie has never felt so alone in her life while she was in this room. I mean, yes, she is here with her most favorite sim ever, her daughter, Ollie, aka Olive. And seeing Olive, she's like, I love you so much, Olive. I'm going to do the best I can for you. And I don't know what happened to your father. There has to be a good explanation. He wouldn't abandon us like this. So now, of course, hours later, Duncan makes it to the room. He doesn't even notice Bonnie called her family, and he just sees Olive. Bonnie is mad. She's like, what? Like, he's just casually running into this room kind of thing. Like, she called her parents. I don't think you understand. She was shook that he wasn't there, and it's after the fact, and it's just, uh-ohs, Duncan, okay? So what happened is he's just introducing himself like, hey, I'm your father. I'm never gonna leave you on your side again. Bonnie just calmed herself down. She's like, look, she doesn't want to pick a fight with him in front of her family. She doesn't want any atmosphere of just negativity the day that her daughter is born. So you know what she does? She just is like, I'm just gonna have him talk to me privately. And they did have a conversation. She said, Duncan, I need you to talk to me. What happened? Where were you? And he's like, I fell unconscious. And he turns around, he just sees her family. He's like, oh my God, you called your family? Like, whoa. And he's just like, oh my God, Olive. But it was just like a mess. So you know what? He decides to go to therapy the next day to talk to a therapist about what might have triggered him and what happened, At first, Duncan really doesn't know what triggered him. So the therapist starts to ask questions. She says, Duncan, what were you last thinking about when you were there? And he starts to remember, I was thinking about my mother. And she's like, what, is your mother in hospitals? He's like, yeah, when I was young, my mother was battling with an illness, and we just had to go to frequent doctor visits, and we lost her like that. And I guess maybe that's what scared me, was the whole hospital area. I mean, I was a little agitated. I think Bonnie knew that, but I feel like she thinks it's suspicious. I don't think she even fully believes that I fainted, or I don't know how to explain it to her. She just thinks it's weird, and I don't know how to tell her the truth, because this is such a soft and sore subject. I don't talk about my mom. Yes, I go through therapy, but I still haven't healed. She's like, telling Duncan, I recommend you to keep coming back. We need to keep talking about this. And, you need to have a way to communicate with your partner, and you have to feel comfortable. And Duncan was like, yeah. But he doesn't really want to do that. And, this, again, like I said, is such a deep, sore emotion for him, to see somebody he loves to be in such a vulnerable place. And seeing Bonnie like that really did remind him of his childhood. And let's not forget, Nico raised Duncan, and he remembers his father not going on dates for a very long time, almost like he was casually dating around the time he met Auntie Brit. But like for real, this man was so in love with the mom. He was willing to just live his whole life and not find love again. And so, Duncan knows the pain of losing someone, and not, like, through his father and through his childhood. And obviously, I feel like a part of Duncan felt like he had to play this strong role. Like, of course, his father knows he's affected, but he didn't want to show his father how fully affected he was. And yeah, and just seeing how it really goes into his life. But obviously he does talk to his father about it, and obviously the reason why he even talks to his father about it is because Bonnie doesn't move back in. Dad, it's been a month. I've been doing my therapy. I'm trying to show her that I do want my family, but she chooses to live with her family, and her family isn't really messing with me right now, so I just feel so alone. And his father's like, look, you need to talk to her and tell her the truth. And he says, I'm not ready. She has her own personal stuff with her work. I respect that. She can't really talk a lot about it, and I'm okay with that. So how come I'm not allowed to have my own personal thing right now where I want to talk about it? I just need my time, and I need my time to be respected. That doesn't make me a bad father that I wasn't there in that moment. I couldn't have controlled that. I think them being married young, they weren't able to communicate correctly. And I feel like from Duncan's side, he's festering a grudge, and he is almost withholding his past and stuff because of Bonnie's line of work, which will be talked about in a future episode. And I feel like it's also because they're married young, so like Duncan, I think, is also younger than Bonnie, so he's a little bit childish. Not childish trait, but like in this area, like he still didn't grow up yet. Let's go back to the Winman's residence. So for the Winman's family, they're very, very close. Bonnie, her sister Brendy, her mother and father, they have movie nights. They call each other every day if they're not at home. They just are very, very close-knit Sims, all four of them. Like, thankfully, family dynamic is in this game because they all have the close dynamic. So if you're wondering, Bonnie's parents were previously divorced Sims. They both found love between each other after meeting at work. They're both teachers, and long story short, they just were inseparable ever since. And so that's why the whole close family dynamic exists between all their family members and stuff like that. I just felt like that was important for you to know. After Bonnie gave birth, she called her parents immediately, and they went to the hospital as soon as they could. And of course, the sister did not want to stay home. She's like, I have to go if she's alone. Like, they were planning to go the next morning, or like, you know what I'm saying, a couple of hours, give the couple their own alone time. But the fact that Duncan wasn't there, they were livid. And then now they're hearing like, oh, it's a month, he's still not fully trying to tell us what happened. And like, unfortunately for them, like, they are thinking like of negative stuff. They're like, what is he hiding from you, Bonnie? What is he hiding? This is suspicious to us. Why? Like, I understand falling unconscious if there's a health reason, but he just randomly did that. Like, what if you were sick and there was a life and death situation, he had to be the person to pick something, and he fainted, and oh my god, we would never want to be in a moment like this. Like, oh my god, we are so happy that it was not that serious. So they were just very worried, and they're really like very they're just like not here for Duncan is what I'm trying to say. They also didn't like that Duncan and Bonnie's relationship went by so quick. Like, they met, they got engaged, married, pregnant within a year. Do you know what I'm saying? It was a little too quick for their comfort. And also, Bonnie calls her best friend, and she's like, girl, what you think? And her bestie was like, yeah, I don't think this relationship is it either. I'm with your family on this. And you know how I felt for a very long time. Her bestie was like, I think rushing into the relationship was a mistake, but at the end of the day, I will support you. I just feel like you didn't even know him enough before even having a baby. Like, you really don't know his full story. Bonnie's like, that's what my parents are saying. That's what my sister is saying. I have to think about it. She sees him in the house from the window, comforting their baby, saying hi to the baby, saying, oh, hey, I'm a good dad, right, baby Olive? That one mistake should not say that I'm the worst father of the world, right? This is something I couldn't control. And, that's what I feel like he was saying to his baby as he was looking at her. I feel like that's why he was just talking to her like in a baby language, just being the cutest dad ever. And, I feel like Bonnie sees that and she just feels like obviously she loves him and she sees that he's a good father, but at her most vulnerable place, being alone and then not talking to her, she felt neglected by him. And she feels like he's not compromising by not even trying to talk to her. At least, even what's the topic about? What is the, like, how could I trust to go back home to you, Duncan, if you can't even just tell me a fraction? I don't know. What if something happened to her and he had to make that decision and he wasn't there? Like, she was just, I don't know, it's just a big trigger. So she stands in front of the, bassinet in him. And he's like, why are you standing in front of the baby? What's going on? And she's just like, I need to talk to you. And he's like, no. Like, your family, 3 of your family members all up around me talking about where were you? This is an issue between you and I. Like, come on, and he's just like, I've been patient with your family for too long. I don't know how much longer you want me to be patient. Well, what do you mean? My family is mad at you, rightfully so, Duncan. My family is worried that you're not gonna show up on important dates, and if something happens, like, what's going on? You don't want to talk to me. You say you know why, what happened. You don't want to talk about it. Like, is there some form of guilt? Are you doing something behind my back? I am concerned, Duncan. And Duncan's like, look, you have your private job that you work on and your own little private stuff that I can't ask too many questions on, right, Bonnie? I respect your boundaries with that. I want you to respect my boundaries on this one. Can I just ask you that? Because I'll talk to you. Just give me some time. Bonnie feels frustrated. How many times are they going to have this circle of a conversation? She wants results. And she's not getting any. And she's been patient with him. And at this point, just even how he's talking to her and, talking about her job, like as if she has a choice to not talk about, the private stuff that she has to do for there because of legal reasons. And, I just feel so bad for Olive. Like, I know she wants her parents to just be so happy together, like just listening in, falling asleep because she don't know what they're saying. Duncan, I don't feel safe knowing that something like that happened, and I just feel so alone. I don't even feel like you reassure me and make me feel better. I just feel like we just have this tension. Duncan says, you don't want to compromise with me, and I don't want to compromise with you right now, so what should we do? I don't know. I just feel something is off. I don't like this. You're not the guy that I fell in love with when I had that work trip in Willow Creek. Unfortunately, you're just starting to get under my skin, and I want the best for my baby girl, and I think the best is for us to not be together and for me to have sole custody. And he says, sole custody, I am not giving my baby up. And she's like, unfortunately for you, I have the government on my side. One quick call and I am the sole parent. He's like, wow, you're gonna use your little connections against me so that I don't have my own daughter in my life. She says, I don't trust you, Duncan. Please leave. Bonnie says, your father didn't want to fight for us, but that's okay. I just wanted to test him, and you know what? He failed the test. That means we're never gonna get back together again. And it's gonna be you and me, and grandma, grandpa, and auntie from now on. I love you, Ollie, so much. Duncan steps outside and he calls his dad. She's breaking up with me, and she wants to take Olive. Like, can you imagine? Can you? I understand she has powerful connections and stuff, but why would she do that to me? I never thought she would do something like that to me. What do I do, Dad? I'm all alone. And Nico's like, look, I'm gonna come over to the city and I'll be there for you, son. Don't worry, you're not alone. You'll always have me. You'll never be alone if, in life you have me, And Duncan's like, you know what? It's true. let's go back to the present because the girls are in the bathroom together, and Bonnie says to Angela, he looked like he was good while he was carrying your daughter outside before your family picked her up. Angela says, oh, thank you, but he loves your daughter. He always talks about her. Uh-oh. The words just came out of Angela's mouth. She didn't want to interfere to this extent, but seeing how it hurts Duncan, she would regret not saying anything. Bonnie says, I'm hesitant. Angela says, if the father of my child wanted to be around my baby, I would do anything in my power to let that happen. He loves you and her. Bonnie says, for a girlfriend, you don't even seem threatened a bit by the ex. I like you. Angela says, and for the ex, you were giving me a lot of love too over there. And Bonnie says, no, I'm serious. I really do like collecting nice paintings where I live. And you know, my sister is a student too, and she is going to transfer to San Sequoia for university. I mean, I could give you her number if you want. Y'all can connect. Angela says, really? That'd be awesome. Of course, the men are acting foolish. They're competing on who's gonna pay the meal, and the girls are just watching like, chill. And Xander wins this rock paper scissors battle. But I do want to tell y'all this mod is by Sebzid, and I randomly tweeted about how I wish there was like this in the game because I was like saw an animation locked behind a paywall, and Nella used the Sims 3 one and transferred it to Sims 4. So shout out to Sebzid, aka Nella. Thank you. Xander was like, look, we talked about trying to go to a bar one time, so we'll play some darts, drink, and you'll pay that. Cool? And Duncan's like, you know what, I like that. Xander says goodbye to Bonnie. He says, I have to go to the ferry. Like, yeah, I have to go back to my city. But, it's nice hanging out with you. And obviously, they just did not want to interrupt their conversation. So they went about their way and decided to go back. And, Duncan wanted to walk Angela home. So, they took a taxi, but eventually did like a bit of a walk back to Grandma and Grandpa's home. Angela felt like she was in a movie. The whole scenario came from nowhere. As odd as it was, it felt nice just, acting grown and catching up with Sims. Angela missed that a lot. Thank you. I'm so sorry for dragging you into all this. Angela says, did I come here for seafood or helping you see your kid? And Duncan says, that was a coincidence. Angela says, I know, I'm just kidding. And he goes, ha, very funny. And then, after just chatting for a bit and talk about the whole scenario just being weird and funny, and that did they believe they're acting, they decided that they were just gonna end the night and cool it there. So Duncan says goodbye, Angela says her goodbye, and yeah. Wait, Savannah, why are you out at this not Savannah choosing to sleep, child, anyway. And Angela sees her daughter's awake. She's like, oh my god, were you waiting for me? She's like, oh, Malak. And Malak literally fell asleep like just after her mom comforted her. I don't know if it was just like she missed her mom or but it really melted my heart. Like, she fell asleep 2 seconds later. So obviously I'm like, you know what, Angela, you need to do your nightly routine, wash up, clean yourself up, all that good stuff, pee. I feel like she was, again, her bladder is not the same after having a baby. And it's been hours since she's been at that restaurant, and what she was drinking too. So, yeah, she definitely needs to use the washroom one more time. So, I feel like she's just like, the whole thing is picturing in her mind again. Like, wow, like, my life could be a movie. Like, this is crazy. I don't know why she decided to wear that outfit. Like, I feel like she should wear that outfit another day. So that kind of is like, girl, I'm going to have to put you in your pajama. So Angela's grandparents asked her if she could stay with them for Harvest Fest because it's actually like the end of the week. And, she's like, oh, but I feel like mom and dad would want me there. And they're like, no, don't worry. We just want you to stay with us. And, I just like, it's just a few more days. Is there a possibility you could talk to your work? And Angela's like, yeah, it's okay. I'm allowed to work from home and stuff for a couple more days. Don't worry about it. So, yeah, her work really wants her to keep practicing that writing skill and write more so that she could start to like write on like the cover of their blogs and stuff, so she could write about food experience, art experience, but she has been doing a little bit of food because she's in Brindleton Bay, which I think would really drum up with the tourism and stuff. So yeah, and oddly enough, she decided to call her old friend Chanel to tell her everything, and Chanel was like, yeah, no, that sounds like right out of a movie, girl, but I am so tired. You need to like tell me a better play-by-play tomorrow. Like, she's like, I'm so sorry for calling it this hour. Like, I just remember like when it was okay for us to be doing that, and she's like, it's okay, girl, don't worry about that, but I really do appreciate that you want to talk to me about this kind of stuff, and like they're really repairing their friendship. I love that for them. But yeah, grandma is already awake. It's the next morning. Like, yeah, time flew, child. But then again, Angela slept really late. She was kind of a little slow with her nightly routine. But you know what? Let's just get, she's tired. Let's give her some grace, But yeah, I'm going to make sure grandma takes care of herself. Grandpa's still asleep. So I think grandma's just going to do some little cleaning around and stuff. But then after that, I could see her wanting to do a morning walk. Yeah, so here's grandma taking her walk. And I just followed her a bit for the walk. I just feel like, I don't know, it's just such a nice, like, Brindleton Bay in autumn season is goals. So like, of course Angela should have Harvest Fest here, I mean, I know that her parents might like be like, oh, why is she not here? But let it go. Grandma and grandpa are like, y'all gotta respect them. But yeah, grandpa's playing some morning chess on the iPad. Ooh. He learned that technology is so cool, and he never used to play with these iPad stuff until his grandson taught him how to use it. He's like, grandpa, you don't have to go to those chess places, you could play on your iPad. And of course, Savannah being a little troublemaker, getting lectures, but Savannah is spoiled him, so it just in one ear out the other. Grandpa goes outside and he's like, oh, you're back from your walk? And she's like, yes, I am. Oh, they're so cute. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to keep saying all day. They're so cute. But yeah, I ended up completing the whim. He had like to embrace, but I used the Sims 3 embrace. So I was like, wait, let me just cheat that to complete it. But yeah, let's see. Oh, all right, let's start the day for Angela and have her take care of Malak right now. So she could smell her diaper, which I felt so bad. I was like, okay, let's go ahead and clean her up. Oh, Lord. Oh, Grandpa likes affection, of course. She's like, good morning, Malak, my sweet princess. And, Malak wakes up and she's like, okay, let's clean your diaper, your poopy pee-pee diaper. And, Malak's looking around like, oh, it's a great day. I'm happy. My mom's here. I feel like that's how she feels. Like, she's really happy. It shows that she's happy. So, awake and happy. That's how she feels. And, she's a sunny baby. Oh my God, they got the close dynamic. There's something so amazing about two Sims having a close dynamic without, just it genuinely happening. Oh, no, cry. Ooh, let me hold myself back. But yeah, she's cleaning up Malak again. It's a nice chill day. Angela doesn't have any plans like that. Like, maybe Duncan's just gonna invite her to eat at a restaurant. They did kind of have a promise to have like a more formal setting restaurant that she could dress up for. I don't know, but maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. Oh, Malak's looking at her mom. So cute. Let's change her outfit, Angela. She's been in her PJs all night, Oh, that's a cute outfit. I like that. And she's gonna breastfeed her before she eats food. Angela's really hungry. I feel so bad. And her hunger is going down because she's feeding her baby. So it's like, oh, I feel bad. So like, I guess I have to make sure she eats food. But I feel like Grandma and Grandpa didn't really cook like that. I feel like they might have just start like their meal later in the day. But also I feel like Grandma and Grandpa probably don't want to cook like that because Harvest Fest is on the way. So they're like, let's just save that energy for the meal. But then I catch them like slow dancing too. Like, oh, they just want me to cry. Oh, they're so cute. But yeah, no, for real. Oh my God. Oh, I'm sorry. They're really making me like all the feels being in Brindleton Bay. Aw, Angela and her baby girl. She's gonna put her baby girl down so she can eat. And I'm gonna have Malak play with the blocks because I don't know if I think she has a toy for her, but it's in the diaper bag upstairs and ain't nobody got time. Just play with what Grandma and Grandpa have for you here. Oh, Angela's rubbing her stomach. She is hungry. But look at Malak. Oh, she's so cute. Hey, Angela, go make them pancakes, okay? Grandma and Grandpa did not eat, so you know what? Maybe she could just do some of the cooking for them for the, next day or two before Harvest Fest really, is here, But yeah, look at her. And she still has her face mask on. Like, my girl, she's just preoccupied. Hunger, baby. You know what I mean. Oh, not Duncan here. Help. Hey, Duncan. I'm assuming he's here because, I don't know, maybe his ex called him. Or does he want to hang out with Angela? Let's figure it out, child. Oh, Grandma's introducing herself. Hey, nice to meet you. Oh, you're that nice gentleman. I heard of you, yes. It's like, oh, nice to meet you. Again, Sims love doing that interaction. I don't know what to do to stop them from that. Because I think it's low-key rude to be talking like that to your elders, But yeah. Oh, wow. Very friendly conversation, if you ask me. Anyway, let's have Grandma and Grandpa eat food. Grandpa made himself some coffee. Grandma's going to have that pancake. Again, she hasn't even eaten nothing yet. Let's have them enjoy their meal. And I think that Grandma's going to be like, oh, look, Angela made a meal. Duncan, do you want to go ahead and have some pancakes with us? I mean, we're starting our day a little late. And he's like, yeah, I understand. Oh, he's feeling a little tense. Do you think he's nervous being around Angela's grandpa? Because he's very friendly with Grandma. I mean, he is a cop, right? So he's like a very strict energy. I could imagine him being a little intimidated by Grandpa. Oh, and Duncan's so awkward. He left this area. He don't even want to eat around here. Oh my God, girl. And she's wearing her face mask. It just hit me. She's probably holding her cringe. She's like, oh Lord, he saw me looking a mess. Oh, she need to clean up too. She has a lot of old stuff that's in her inventory. Lord, why did he have to come around this time? Lord, and she gotta do some breast pumping for her baby. And I gotta clean her inventory from the old breast milk that expired. Woo, child. Anyway, let's have Angela wash off that face mask. Let's have her just clean herself up, change her outfit, all this stuff, blow dry her hair. Yeah, we gotta get our girl Angela ready, okay? So Angela is wearing the outfit, last night where I was like, why don't she just wear this for another occasion? Might as well be it for this occasion, right? She gonna fix up that hair, put everything in place. She don't want no strays. She wanna make sure everything is just, sitting. But yeah, she's about to go downstairs and let's go look at, hello? What's he doing with Malak? Because I'm not even controlling him. Not him trying to teach her. Hey, those are my moments. And if she starts to pull up that chair, I'm gonna be sad because he done took this moment. But he's really good with kids though. That's really cute. But no, I'm supposed to be going through this pack with y'all. Duncan, not her go. Y'all see Malak just doing her thing in the hallway. Anyway, so let's see. I guess Duncan is talking about how his ex called him and how he gets to meet up with Ollie. He don't know how this happened. She's like, what do you mean? You're a great dad. That's how it happened. And he's like, yeah, but she wants you to come to this place with me. And she's like, oh, really? Is that why we're supposed to hang out? He's like, yeah, I know it's on the whim, but let's just, I don't know. Are you okay with that? She's like, sure. He's like, but by the way, she does want to introduce you to her sister because that's apparently why y'all are going. And, this outfit is the right outfit to wear. And she's like, why? What should I be wearing? And he's like, it's kind of cold today. It's not like the way it was yesterday. I mean, you see me wearing a jacket. So she's like, okay, I'll change into a jacket. Grandma says, Angela, take care. Sweet dreams, Malak. So, yeah, I guess she's going to be meeting the sister today and hanging out with them, which she kind of looks a little awkward in the face there. So let's go. They were supposed to go to a restaurant, but apparently Bonnie's sister Brandy was like, I don't want to go to a restaurant if that's okay, y'all. I just want to go to the beach, fish. I got a cooler, got some drinks, got some fire. Let's just have something a little chill and low key. She's very down to earth like that. Y'all saw how her family is. They like to have a little bonfire. They like to roast stuff. So Angela, she's not used to this kind of like lifestyle. I mean, of course, in the summertime when it was like lake house and all that energy, or maybe a bonfire, maybe when she was in school once upon a time or something. But other than that, like, no, like a hangout dedicated to that, I don't know. But the fact she caught that fish, I mean, Angela, maybe you were meant to do this stuff, girl. I mean, she does like the outdoors. So, I mean, this should be making her happy. I guess, yeah. But, like, why are we talking about Angela when, like, Ollie and her father are reunited? Isn't that the cutest thing ever? Aww. Oliver is just a very friendly kid, She's a toddler now, so I am happy, though, that Duncan gets to reunite with his daughter. And, oh, no, not a vampire. You going. Nope, just go away. You gonna die. Actually, I'm doing you a favor. Yeah, take care. Like, oh. Duncan says, Oliver, I miss you so much, and I'm gonna try to keep coming by more often. They decide to roast some, hot dogs, and Angela got to know Brendy, and Brendy and her are gonna keep in contact. She likes that she gets to talk to somebody that is passionate about painting outside the Painters Club, but just more Sims. And they left that beach drunk AF. Okay, but let's imagine that somebody is carrying Oliver. Sims aren't that smart, child. Angela's mom says, are you sure this is the right address? Daniela says, yes, mom. Let's go. Come on, let's knock on their door right now. Dad's like, this trip was brutal, so let your mom, just do some breathers, call your brother and sister, just tell them we've arrived safely. So they're gonna go and knock on the door right now. That startled Mrs. Draper. Oh my god. But then I got a pop-up that Daniela got the supportive dynamic with her mom. And I was like, wow, Daniela, that's so cute. And then I noticed there was a rainbow. Like, what a day. Is the family there? And they're like, well, the car's out there, so they definitely there. And then Miss Patrice opens the door. She's like, hello. And they're like, can we come in? We want to talk to you about something important. And she's like, y'all could be vampires. Why am I going to let y'all in my house? So Daniela's like, you don't recognize me? And then she looks at her and she's, Angela? She's like, yeah, we are Angela's family. We really need to talk to you about important stuff. She's like, what important stuff could we be talking to each other about? Our kids broke up a long time ago. Yeah, I know time has flown, but this is very important business. I would not knock on your door. And so she lets them in. Mama Patrice makes some nice fresh tea for the family because it's a really cold day, and one of the reasons why they wanted to come in, they're like, look, it's freezing out here, child. What is this cold climate region? Like, it's went from snowing to raining, by the way, so it was an intense weather. Family's just joking around. Harvest Fest is tomorrow, and long story short, Miss Patrice was just cooking and baking, preparing food. But as the time went by, they started to tell her everything that has happened between Norman and Angela, and that Melak exists. And the door opened. Looks like her husband is home. Leslie says, I didn't know we were expecting guests, my love. Patrice says, no, they're here to tell us we have a grandchild. Leslie says, and who are you? Leslie indicates to their daughter to go upstairs to her room. She just came back from school. Who are these guests? She's so confused, but she listens to her father. And if you remember, they wanted to adopt a child, and as time passed by, of course, they adopted a child. Hi, we have spoken on the phone once. I'm Angela's father. Patrice says, I am so sorry for how Norman treated her, but he told us that she cheated on him and left him for someone else. Daniela says, classic cheater. Have you cheated on each other? Angela mom says, Daniela, please let the adults talk. Daniela's parents knew she was frustrated, but they did not like how she was acting. Patrice says, no, never. Addison says, we wanted to know the kind of man our grandchild's parents come from, like what kind of people you guys are, because we love our Angela. Leslie says, how many times have you visited her while she lived with my son? Adam says, excuse you? We weren't approving of your son encouraging our daughter to quit school and depend on him. Daniela says, and hello, we were right about him. He did that only to ensure that she would stay with him no matter what, but he doesn't know that she would always leave because our mom taught us better than to accept the bare minimum. Leslie says, oh yeah? I bet you didn't even know of the baby until yesterday and ran over here acting holy. Some family. Patrice says, Leslie, please, I beg you, please stop. Adam and Leslie are starting to get close to each other, and Patrice feels like there might be some tension, and she stands between them. The Hill family didn't go to the Draper house to fight, so this is just not the intention between both of them. And Leslie was like kind of saying like, I'm gonna choke you, and Adam was like, yeah, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna regret it. I'm gonna tell you that. And Patrice she doesn't want this. She's like, oh, stop, baby, please. We're not here to start a fight with these people. They're here just to tell us about our granddaughter. Don't you want to meet our granddaughter? I saw photos and she just looks like us. Leslie, you're more mad at Norman than you are at this family. Unfortunately, when this was happening, their daughter that they recently adopted, Mary Belle Draper, she witnessed it. Mary Belle recently moved in with the family, and she has a bit of a disturbing past, I believe, because when they adopted her, she had really bad manners and, a lot of these sort of negative traits, which I feel like maybe just was survival skills. And so I feel like she is slowly letting her guard down with her family, but seeing this probably just like really kind of scared her. They never saw her have emotions like this. Usually she's just kind of a little mean to them. Mary, it's okay, honey. We were just talking, adults work maybe a little too loud like little kids, so we're gonna keep it down. And she's like, okay, mommy. And so then after that, they tell her to go take a shower. She is feeling like a flu, so her mom gives her medication, but they tell her, go upstairs, take a shower, wear your pajamas, do your homework. And, they wanted a baby girl, and they have a baby girl. Patrice tells everybody to sit down in the living room. It's because, maybe all that standing was a little tension. And I know Daniela and Addison were feeling very guilty seeing that little girl. They didn't want this. Nobody did. But, sometimes conversations get a little bit too tension. Leslie, they're trying to calm Leslie down. Like, okay, I know you're really mad kind of thing, Adam decides to move seats randomly. I'm guessing Leslie, just the tension's a little too much, so he's like, I'm gonna sit next to my wife. Daniela says, we aren't here to fight. We want you to know the truth. He's bribing Angela to keep hush, and Malak will age up to a toddler soon, and he doesn't even know her properly. Is that right? Patrice says, it's not. We raised him better. Adam says, we are so sorry that we're meeting under these circumstances. We hope to be connected in the future. Leslie says, and I'm sorry I got angry. I didn't like that I came home and Patrice was by herself, and I just felt like I was judged. Daniela says, for the record, we assumed you guys had some idea. Addison says, I'm sorry it looked that kind of way. You can imagine how lonely it must have been for Angela to have done this all alone. We have to show a united front. All of us needed her to know that we're going to be there for her no matter what. This conversation was really emotional. Sims were just crying. They were mad. They were about to fight. And, this meeting had to happen. It wasn't an easy conversation to have. Patricia says, it was nice meeting you guys. I know it wasn't easy, but I'm so happy to have met you guys. And Addison says, I'm so happy to meet you guys too. Thank you so much for hearing us out. We really assumed that you knew, and now we know you don't, and you guys were left in the dark. And, the parents were like, yeah, we're going to have to make this conversation between the, boys. It seems like, Norman and Enzo were in on it together. For what reason? To know that both sons are doing something like this, it just doesn't sit well. And then their daughter comes outside to say goodbye to them. So the conversation just had to end. They had to say goodbye and go about their day. So Leslie calls his sons. Like, he didn't even waste no time. Yeah, I know. Tomorrow I'm canceling Harvest Fest. I don't want to talk. I'm just not feeling too good. Let's have Sunday family dinner. Let's just move it. You remember like what we did last year? Yeah, let's just do that. And the boys are like, what's going on? Like, why are we moving it again on a Sunday? But they're just kind of like, okay. So like, yeah, Enzo and Norman both got the same calls. So yeah, Leslie's like, they're not gonna expect it, and we're gonna have to tell them we know. And Patricia's like crying. This is so emotional for her. She just doesn't want to know a grandchild exists like this. This is just so painful for her. And that night they literally just slept in their clothes in the downstairs couch area. They were exhausted mentally. I think even their daughter was sleeping on the other couch. Like, I feel so bad for the Draper family. Obviously, I feel bad for Angela first and foremost because she's the one who went through this. But I do feel bad because I don't think they were ever going to be malicious grandparents. They're just nice people. They just have an a-hole of a son. So the Hill family talks about how the conversation did go good, but they did tell Daniela that she needs to control her anger. And, she was just kind of like, I was a little triggered. I thought these Sims did not give a F about having a grandchild. I just saw the worst possible thing in them. And her mom was like, I know Angela was a bit suspicious. She didn't want to talk about them, and I've overheard your conversation. That's why I felt like we needed to put the matters in our hand and that we had to get something done for our grandbaby. At the end of the day, even if they didn't acknowledge her, we still needed them to get shamed and know that what they were doing was wrong. But that wasn't the case, thankfully. They were in the dark just like us, and it was even worse because it was their sons doing, both their sons. I mean, I don't even want to be a fly when their parents confront them. That's what they said, and that's kind of how I'm ending the episode. So yeah, I named this episode Dinner with the Exes because the first part of the episode, there's a part of Dinner with the Ex, and the last part too, and I just felt like that was so fun for me to have an episode title that really eats. Like, I always feel like my episode titles aren't that strong, but this one was the strongest. I was like, okay, I kind of did that. Oh my god, I really felt so proud. I don't think you understand. Like, when I wrote this episode earlier this year, I was just visualizing the day that I could share episode 7. I was so excited, and the fact that it's here, it really makes me so emotional. Like, sharing my creativity and writing something from scratch, and of course just accepting part of the gameplay for what it is. It's just such an experience. Obviously, if you know me, I have a machinima on my channel called Family Secrets, if you don't know, and it's just as dramatic as the series. And there's 5 episodes out. It's pretty lengthy series in the sense of like the minutes and stuff, but the juiciness of that tea. And when I was working on that series, there were certain episodes I would be in excitement to share the visuals and just the creativity, and when I wrote it and seeing it, and then I felt that exact same passion with this episode. So I'm very thankful to have you watch this. I don't think you understand how thankful I am in sharing my creativity. There was a time in my life your girl Sasha was very shy to just even show my creativity side, and I'm happy to share this with y'all. And it's a journey of growing every single day. Like, the series is called Growing Together, right? So yeah, thank you so much for watching the series. My name is Sasha. Please share your thoughts below and leave some mirror emojis. It's the reflection era. I need to see mirrors, okay? I really do. And of course, don't forget to comment your thoughts, though, other than also mirrors, because I really want to know your thoughts on this episode. Yeah, I'm very excited to know your thoughts. So I'll see y'all in episode 8. Ooh. See you then. Take care.